It's the weekly show about ProAV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to rAVe TV, the industry's only live weekly TV show all about ProAV. Gary, what's going on? What's happening?
Vision Pro, baby. Check it out. Isn't that awesome stuff? Check it out. This is the best new piece of technology I've ever experienced in my entire life. It's gotten a lot of negative press, but it is amazing for a first generation piece of technology. It's incredibly well designed. It is not heavy like people say it is. The battery does last 3 to 4 hours, so it lasts a little longer than what people are saying. I'd love it to last a little longer than that. But the applications for this thing are incredible. And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I brought it in my ad creative class. And what's really cool about it is, number one, Steph, it is a AR, MR, what they call MR. So you can actually see through it. So it's not a normal VR headset. I can actually see through it in real time, truly in real time. So I can see content in front of me, but see through it. Yesterday in my ad creative class, I went in the class, said, before I show this, demonstrate this to you, because what you can do is live stream from it onto any projector or monitor and anywhere. So it's compatible with anything. And it does it wirelessly. So what I did is, before I do this demo, how many of you are interested in this product? One person raised their hand out of 19 in the class. Okay. After I demonstrate the product, the entire class raised their hand except for one person. So 18 out of 19 wanted the product. Until you see the applications for it, you don't really understand it. Now, $3,000 price tag, expensive. So not a lot of people are going to buy it. Right. But the applications are incredible. Like, here's what I brought up. I showed them how to watch a movie in there. I showed them the IMAX application where you bring up an IMAX film. And what's cool about it is you can move around the theater and sit in different locations. And when you look around, you're actually in an IMAX theater. I did a demo where I brought up a 3D model and sized the model to the room and then walked around it. We walked around a moon lander, 3D model of the moon lander. I showed them Keynote presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation inside it. And then I also showed them how to set it up and some of the features. I have to admit, I mean, the price tag is high, but it is incredible. I can totally see applications galore. And one of the coolest features, Steph, that is in beta is that, and we should try to demonstrate this on rAVe TV, is that when I'm wearing my headset on a Zoom call or a FaceTime call or a Teams call, when you see me, you don't see me, you don't see the headset on my face. You actually just see my face. It masks your face, re-images your face without the goggles on. Now, the quality of it is about 90% real. It's not 100%. So you kind of see something odd, meaning it kind of looks like Avatar-ish as opposed to real. But I'm blown away. This is a great piece of first generation technology. And, it's definitely going to make it. The naysayers are wrong. Google's going to copy it. Sony's coming out with a version of this thing. You'll see, of course, Facebook copy it. I'm so excited about the future of technology. Okay.
I'm really on the fence about it. I don't see the practical applications.
I can't wait till you wear it. When you wear it, I think your mind will be changed. You need to really wear it and see what the applications are. I totally get it. I ordered it, was on the fence, but you have to take everything I say with a grain of salt because I'm definitely an Apple fanboy. But in this case, I'm demonstrating it. Tomorrow I'll be using it to teach my 140 person class. I'll be teaching a 140 person class at UNC with it on. I'll be streaming my keynote presentation to all the displays in the room, and I'll be teaching live, doing it. And I think once people see it, they're really impressed with what it can actually do as a first generation product. And I'm impressed. I have to admit.
I want you to wear a headache over time?
It doesn't give me a headache. Yeah. I mean, if you're a person that doesn't like 3D movies, I mean, one of the things is, when you launch the Disney Plus app and you launch Star Wars, it's in 3D and you're inside the movie. You're not step back, you're inside of it. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't like that immersion, you're probably going to be intimidated by it. But it's, tech is moving fast. Simultaneously to me loving this product, I was bummed to see the article today that Apple's no longer going to build an electric car. But the reason why, it's interesting why they cited it is that electric car sales have, plummeted in 2020, end of 23 and 24 because of all the problems in and around the technology.
Right. Which doesn't seem true because I feel like everyone I know drives a Tesla.
Yeah, and I was going to get an electric car and change my mind at the last minute and bought a plug-in hybrid. I brought the Jeep Wrangler plug-in hybrid, and I love it. I've only used gas twice because I've only driven it twice where I've gone more than 30 miles because it has a 30-mile battery range. But I like it. I mean, it's an inexpensive car compared to what a lot of them that are out there. And speaking of cars and drive-throughs and things, one thing you and I were talking about earlier this morning was what Wendy's announced with their surge pricing. I thought it was kind of creative what they did.
And I'm a Wendy's fan girl. I live for the spicy chicken nuggets once they brought those back. Like that is I love that. I live for that. For them to introduce surge pricing feels dystopian in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Uber's been doing it, right? Uber's been doing it for years.
Yes, but that is a ride-sharing service, and usually people are all going to the airport at the same time. Okay.
It used to be against the law to change your prices based on demand. This is sort of...
And it's,
And basically, it is in a crisis, right? It's against the law. If you're having a hurricane, you can't raise the price of milk and eggs and stuff.
Right.
But in this case, you're just doing it based on demand in real time. Digital signage is perfectly suited for this because as you go to everything being digital signage menus, you can change the price if somebody drives up to I could see one day where somebody's driving up in a BMW and the price of a hamburger goes up compared to someone driving up in a Kia. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we have an image maybe of what this signage is going to look like. So yes, they're going to introduce signage at every drive-through that is going to kind of have a little bit about what this dynamic pricing is going to look like. They're basically saying, no, it's not going to be surge pricing. They keep calling it dynamic pricing, but that's the same thing.
What they're doing is tying it to inventory, right? If they are running low on something, charge more for it. But I mean, look, it's a new world. We're in a new place. This is just part of it. I mean, we're seeing tech debut before our very eyes that are just blowing me away. This Sora text to video technology. Gosh. I played around with it over the weekend just to see what it was like. I was blown away how simple it is to use.
Okay. So let's tell everyone what this is. So this is
that
by
right?
OpenAI.
I'm pronouncing it right? Is it Sora? Is that
I think it's Sora. So this is OpenAI, the same people who are behind ChatGPT, DALL-E. They introduced this new thing called Sora, and this develops video based off of text. Right now, it's only good enough to do maybe 30 seconds of video, but we have a little bit of what that looks like. Yeah, we have a little video showing you guys what this looks like. It's really cool. So they kind of demonstrated it on YouTube. Yeah, let's play it. So yes, they're show a petri dish with a bamboo forest and red pandas running around in it.
So from that prompt, that 2-sentence prompt, came that entire video that you're watching there.
Exactly.
Literally.
And now they've literally given it a paragraph of information, drone of this with the waves, and we want to see a highway snaking through the mountains, and then it literally
and all that's generated through AI. Here's a movie trailer featuring the
astronaut man with a red knit helmet, and here he is. This is amazing, but also horrifying at the same time. You know what I mean?
I mean, look, unless the government steps in, everything is about to change.
Yes. Pirate ships battling each other inside a cup of coffee.
Prompts. This is all from text prompts. Everything is about to change. And, if you're scared, you should be. I mean, you really should be joining this evolution in technology or rally the government behind stopping it. I don't know what else to tell you. We're excited about it because we're in the tech field. I know there's mixed reactions about it, but the truth of the matter is everything is changing.
We're just in lawless land territory with things like this. It's like everything else. It just could use a little bit of regulation. And once we have that, I think we'll be fine. For instance, I don't know if you heard about this happening over the weekend, but there was in Glasgow, England, there was a Willy Wonka event the company that put this on had used entirely AI generated images to make it look amazing, like you were stepping into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. And then
Okay.
people got there and it looked nothing like that. It looked like the inside of a warehouse with like 5 things put up. And people had paid so much money to be here and thought it was going to be all of this. So, like, you know, there probably should be a law where, like, okay, you can't use AI to, like, you know, misconstrue what you are selling.
Well, ultimately, the clients
like,
will
you
be
know,
unhappy and people are going to complain. I mean, you know, the thing is,
yeah,
we're in kind of like a new realm of technology. This is bigger than when I was, I was around in 95 when the World Wide Web became the World Wide Web, which was 94, 95
yes.
timeframe. And it
Yeah.
happened very, very fast. And it sort of like changed things very rapidly. This is happening even faster. Hey, look, we got a lot more news to talk about today. A lot of stuff going on in the industry, considering we're in between trade show season. One of the things that was introduced at ISE last month, and we gave an award to, was the Shure Next 2 wireless system, which is aimed at higher education, but also has applications in a lot of different spaces. Let me show you this video right now so you can see what it's like and why we gave it.
What's next in wireless? Meet the Shure Microflex Wireless Next 2. It's a snap to set up, and it's perfect for all your spaces, like this, and yeah, even that. And with a variety of available mics, everyone can hear and be heard. So what's next in wireless? The all-new, all-in-one MXW Next 2.
I love that product.
Yes, that is a really, really cool product. We got to see it hands-on at ISE. And by the way, you know, this is very timely. It just became Teams certified, which is really, really cool. Like Gary said, this is really made for like classrooms because each teacher can have their own little pack so you don't have to share. It's really good for, you know, not sharing.
But with
germs,
the boundary mic, it allows you
Yeah.
to turn a conference room into an audio conferencing system pretty quickly. I think they're going to be very successful with this because the syncing feature is really cool. Like you put the product in the base station, press a sync button, and all of a sudden it syncs whatever mic you're using in that room. So you could, as Steph just said, you can assign a professor or a user their own mic, and they can travel from room to room and amplify themselves in any room at any time. This is going to set a new standard for all audio companies to best this product. And we got a special guest, do we not, Steph?
We do. We do. So we have a special guest coming on from our sponsor and partner, rAVe. Let's bring on Carl Harville. How is it going, Carl?
It's going great. It's definitely been an exciting time in the UC industry.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you guys have done really well. You had some great new products at the show. Congratulations on a very successful show at ISE. And I know that you have a lot that is going to be coming up. Steph, I know you have a set of questions you want to talk to Carl about, so I'm going to kind of turn it over to Steph to you know, see what you have new that you want to talk about today.
Yeah. Sounds good. Carl, it's a very wild, wild west in UCC technology right now. And I just wanted to talk for a moment about, you know, how to come up with the next ideas for products that are answering questions that people don't even know they have yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's an interesting question because I mean, as you see the industry right now, you know, video conferencing has been around for a long time, or unified communications, you know, since the late 80s, I guess, review and stuff like that. And so there's been a lot of companies that have been developing things to either get the cost down and or to bring the experience up. And you know, to answer a question, Steph. Right now, I think it's really all about, you know, finding that great end user experience that you want to build products for. You know, as I look at it right now, you know, me being in the industry for a long time, I had to manage a lot of those really important video conferencing calls where the exec board wants to do like an all hands meeting. And so, you know, if you look at video conferencing, you look at that experience, what I was just talking about, you know, those really important all hand meetings. Generally, you look at the roles and responsibilities of a video call and you're like, okay, who's doing what in a video call? You know, those important meetings, they have somebody that's usually running like the content only, a dedicated person just to running slides. You have a dedicated person just to muting people and making sure the cameras are all framed up correctly. And then you'll have the people presenting. You know, I think, you know, for those really important calls where you have all hands on decks and all those resources, I think everybody wants that experience, but automated for the average users and for the average person. And so, you know, that moderator or that person that would actually run the camera controls and switch cameras to the person that's talking, or making sure that the person that's framed up is, you know, looking decent and, you know, not picking their nose all the time and stuff like that in the video call. I think that's the kind of experience that everybody wants and automation that everybody's going for. So that's kind of what we're gearing towards for our products at Aver, to automate that experience and make it seem like it's that, you know, every video call or every conference is that important one, like it would be for an experience.
Yeah, well, yeah, I definitely wanted to just make sure to ask you that question as we jumped in here, because you guys are always at the forefront of knowing what people are going to want, of knowing what people are going to ask for. So like Gary said, you guys had a really, really successful ISE. You've had some recent product announcements. So do you want to run over a few of your recent announcements and what's going on with video conferencing at Aver?
Sure. I mean, so when you consider it from, I guess you could say late last year to even this quarter now, we made some announcements in the terms of camera technology that has a lot of intelligence built within it to be able to like automatically group people, put them into their own like Brady Bunch view. And then we had some major enhancements with audio technology. You know, we came out with what's called the MT300 box, which is a way, or a dedicated box to tie in multiple cameras to third-party audio devices. And now we're about to make we just made an announcement a couple of days ago, which is, you know, having one of our cameras connected up with a speakerphone system that has a really easy connectivity option, which is single cable going into the back of the PC. So we're making a lot of headway on the edges, I guess you could say, of a conference room technology, to where we could put more intelligence within it. But then we're making a lot of advancements in the audio realm, in the sense of connecting up with third-party systems, as well as enabling like audio tracking within the head unit of a camera itself.
So really, really advanced technology, but making it really simple for end users to control, put their settings in, be able to use it. That's kind of the trends I'm seeing. Exactly.
One of the big things we're trying to automate is like having that moderator in a conference room, but, you know, having all that done by the equipment itself. And so that's kind of what we're doing.
Okay. Very cool. And another camera of yours, I think, recently even got Microsoft Teams certification. So you guys are busy over there.
Yeah. That's one of the big things is our partnerships, you know, and partnering up with the ecosystem of Unified Communications. So with that, we have been partnering with Microsoft a lot and getting certification with that. And so far, going through that certification route has been a very pleasant experience. So we have more to come.
Yeah. That was going to be my last question for you was, you know, could you give us, you know, any hints or anything that you were allowed to say for what's to come for the rest of this year?
Well, we're gonna continue on with the multi-camera technology and being able to have that driven by AI, so it can actually make intelligent decisions based upon where the person is talking, which way they're facing. Because I guess you could say that's one of the biggest trends we're seeing right now, is getting that multi-camera technology working, and getting it done on the edges, like I mentioned before.
Very cool. Well, my last question I have for you actually is, where can people find more information?
www.averusa.com. So it was a great resource.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Carl, for hopping on. I appreciated getting to talk to you for a few minutes, and I know our audience did too.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
I want to do a big shout out to our friend Clint Hoffman for being promoted to CEO of Lightwear. I've known Clint for 25 years.
You have.
And he's a great guy. One of the few, I mean, I'd love for him to work for us. I mean, he's an incredible guy. He's super nice. He's just very sort of like, just very personable. And, you know, he's been at Lightwear for, I guess, over a year now. And he's been the president. Now he's the CEO. And also Christopher Chandler was named as SVP of sales for the Americas. I mean, that company is doing some really interesting things, and they've really got a neat niche right now in UC with USB connectivity in rooms. Congratulations to Clint. I think, shout out to them. I also want to, we were talking about Microsoft Teams certification. I mean,
Microsoft Teams is partnering with a lot of people right now. So Barco's ClickShare now gives usage insights directly to Teams rooms, the like pro management portal. So Barco's been making a lot of like strategic partnerships lately. So I think that this will be an interesting one to be able to see how this goes.
Yeah. A couple of days ago, Extron introduced a new HDMI wall plate. They have a couple versions of this. This one's the US version. This one sends HDMI audio and USB-C long distances up to 330 feet, so 100 meters. And they also have a UK version and a Euro version with the square block terminals. Obviously, this is a good simplified way of doing laptop connectivity in a classroom or a meeting room, or because you have the ability to connect up HDMI and USB-C. So you can see all that. Of course, all of the stuff we're talking about about today are always on our website at ravepubs.com, or you can scan those QR codes as they come up, and we always have
all of the stories are linked if you go to the QR code. So also Middle Atlantic, they added a new forum lectern, and I will be the first to say that I find most lecterns to be quite ugly, but this one is actually really lovely. This one's a really nice looking one. We have a little bit of a product video that we took at ISC that we can show you guys kind of up close and personal of what this looks like. So yeah, check this out really quick, just so you can.
It is a lectern with an optional side rack on the side, and it actually comes with a lot of options that you can add to the product. As a standard, it's always height adjustable, and there is always a PDU underneath the tabletop. But it's also possible to buy a turret, for example, with custom cutouts for your touch displays, for example, and also a power box with all the connections that you need.
So as you can see, I really like the gray on that. Like, it looks very clean, not ugly at all. Like, I just hate, like, I don't know, mahogany wood, I guess. It's just what I don't like.
The wood color is kind of going out now, right? I mean, there's a little bit more of a design aesthetic with that. And also, there's a lot of places, Steph, where you have to have lecterns, right? I mean,
yes, for sure.
In classrooms and in lecture halls, auditoriums, there are always going to be lecterns there, whether they're portable or there's going to be, so you're never going to get rid of them, but they should be functional and not big just to take up space.
Exactly. And I think that they really did a good job of making it extremely functional, not too large, but also making it pretty. And like you saw on the other side, it's got easy connections to, a bunch of anything for your AV needs. If you needed to hook up so you could get your computer to put on your presentation back here, they've got it, and it looks really good. So yeah, 10 out of 10 to them. But yeah, so like we mentioned, Legrand AV is our last sponsor and partner, and we are very grateful to them. And if you did not get a chance to check out their booth at ISC, you can do so by going to their website. We have linked it down at the QR code. So if you click it, you can take a 3D tour all through their booth to see everything that they showed. It's got links to each product. And they also wanted to let you know, like, you get a 10 out of 10 extra points if you can spot the pigeon that was hanging out at their booth when these photos were taken. So definitely go check that out.
There were a lot of birds in the convention center, I have to say. I saw
a lot of birds. I hate pigeons.
Yeah, but hey, Brad Sousa, as you know, if you recall last fall, we reported on his untimely death. He was a big part of our industry, not just AVI systems. As an example, he left a legacy with the work that he did with Avixa on the Infocom show last year on Esports. He was a great speaker. He went around and did a lot of opening keynotes for the AVI live show. Avixa has created a Brad Sousa Impact Fund. You can find out more details, give to that, or participate in that by checking out our website, or you can scan that QR code. Of course, you can always go to Avixa at avixa.org. And
Yep, it's accepting applications for grants, and also it's accepting donations right now. So you can scan the QR code and go there, and that will lead you straight to Avixa's website where you can do so.
some interesting news coming out of Europe this week, where Sennheiser is investing 7 million euros or $7.5 million in a Norwegian-based audio company called Sensibel. They didn't buy them; they just investing in them, and they'll be co-developing products and microphones. Obviously, with Sensibel's microphone technology, you can learn more about that. And of course, remains to be seen how they're going to ultimately partner. But you can learn more about that at ravepubs.com.
Yep. Apparently, the technology that this company is developing, Sennheiser found very interesting and wanted to continue this company to, do its research and continue working. So thought that was very interesting. It's always interesting when a company gives a lot of money to another. I don't know why. But continuing on.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this new portable data transmitter, the PDT FP1. I found this really interesting, and I wrote up this story. I'm interested in this because, let's say you're a college campus and you're doing Olympic sport events or basketball, football, those revenue sports, baseball, and you have portable cameras that you're going to use out in the field, right? This thing allows them to connect to a data connection like AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and provide that live coverage without having to be on the network all the time, meaning the Wi-Fi network, which is a little less reliable sometimes, because you can pop when with wireless networks, you pop off and you're completely off. With data, at least you have some bandwidth. You're still on, even though we compress the quality. A lot of the phone companies have been in this business for a while. Of course, Sony, with a heritage in video production, television, and film production, has come out with their own version, and it mounts to it in between the camera and the tripod, so it's nice and convenient to use. You can, if you're in the rental staging, live events, house of worship, or education market, you'd be interested in that product. It is all on our website. So, Steph, what about esports? Cool. How's that? Our esports is really doing well,
if you're watching us now, you know that we obviously have a weekly TV show, but did you know that we also at rAVe have a show entirely about esports? It comes out the first and third Thursdays of every month at noon. And this is hosted by Bubba Gaddert, who's obviously really big in the esports community. And we have a little clip from the most recent episode to kind of, let you know a little bit of what this is about. It's actually really cool about how big the esports community has been for schools.
Groups that are operating as association organizations like NACE. You have NECC that's operating as a fully dedicated esports conference. And then you have conferences out there like Big Ten, traditional sports, who they've explored it and they've sort of endorsed a group of Big Ten schools now that is running the big esports conference, which is the member schools of the Big Ten. And they're sort of doing it as a almost proof of concept to show, hey, this is vital. This is valid. We've got a lot of STEM students in college that want to compete competitively. And we know that last year about $30 million in scholarships was given out across college esports. We also know about $100 million was spent on facilities. Wow. And that's growing all the time. It's not unusual to see $10 and $20 million projects starting up on campuses with esports arenas on campuses where it's not just about gaming. It's also about integrating other colleges across the university and other disciplines to come and operate and have classrooms within the space and really expand program offerings around almost every type of industry you could imagine, from marketing to communications to drones to manufacturing to medicine. Almost everything is getting gamified.
Hey, she's a wealth of knowledge. Listen, there's 2 data points that I hopefully you picked up. There's currently $100 million worth of projects being built in universities alone on esports, and there's about $30 million of scholarships that are being given out to players in college. This is the fastest growing sport in college right now, literally the fastest growing sport in college, new sport, I should say, in colleges. And when we started the esports show about 6 months ago, a little less than 6 months ago, there were about 100 universities around the country that had actual clubs or varsity teams. Now there's over 200 in the university community. So it's growing really rapidly, even here at UNC as well. So that's a great market, great potential there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, she talked about the Big Ten, like all having like representatives, which I think is really cool.
Developed conference in esports. They have more teams. They have more varsity D1 programs. So they're actually not only getting scholarships, but they actually have D1 programs as well. And we don't have that in the ACC. The SEC doesn't have it yet. Some of the Pac-12 schools do. In fact, the big the big dominant player in that is Irvine University in Southern California. The Irvine Anteaters, Steph, is there. Is there
Irvine Anteaters?
Anteaters,
so
that's right. So, yeah.
Well, let's continue on with the last few stories we have for today. So Epson actually made an entire dedicated projector website for the House of Worship market, which Gary and I were talking about, that we think it's really cool that they did this, because it's all resources dedicated to assisting faith-based communities in selecting the right projector solutions for each space, how much light you have, how much is that ambient light. They have, projectors for every, possible space that you could ask for, but it's all about helping them to figure that out. It also has a pricing program to help make the most out of each House of Worship's technology budget. So I think that that's actually really helpful. And you can figure out what that page is and go to it if you scan the QR code down below.
I've got 2 case studies really quickly. Walla Walla University did something kind of unique. We've talked a lot about XR stages using LED. They use scalable display technologies to do one out of projection, which costs a lot less money, and you can do a larger area for a lot less money. We have a case study on there on how they did it. This is a new emerging market for scalable display technologies. Everyone knows who they are because of their image mapping capabilities. And the second thing is, speaking of image mapping, here's another example of projection in projection mapping using projection in a practical application as a case study. This company called Life Size Plans. They have a technology that allows you to experience your house before you build the house in real life proportions. They partnered with Panasonic, and they built actually a showroom in Ireland. You're going to see lots of showrooms from home builders. And I think we have
if you're building, renovating, or redesigning, this is by far the best way to go about it.
Shows you.
Life Size Plans represents a new era of building and design collaboration. Our state-of-the-art projection technology lets you walk through your home or commercial floor plan
in real life-size proportions, so you could see, how big a room is, how big a couch would be in a room. It gives the home buyer a more comfortable. Like if you're competing with a home builder that doesn't have this and you have it, you're probably going to win most of the time when you're competing against 2 of them there. So that case study is on our website. And Steph,
and this will save money in the long run, no?
I think it'll save money, but also, when you have a door and you say, wow, I wish it would have been like a foot over, you can actually experience that, right? Like
go ahead and do it instead of like building it first and then the person realizing they hate it. Yeah,
exactly. Something stupidly small like that will be solved by stuff like this. And then also some people have a better job when they picture something versus when they read something. So next week, I'm going to be in DC for the Almo E4 experience on March 5th, which is Tuesday. I'll be opening it up with the keynote, all brand new keynote that I'll be doing at that event. All you have to do to register is go to e4experience.com or scan that QR code. I hope that you're there. If you're in the DC area, I hope I see you. I'll be leading the keynote at 9 a.m. That's following a free breakfast. They're also serving a free lunch, and there'll be about 50 exhibitors there, all with new products that were launched at ISE. So please go over there and register.
10 CTSRUs in a day is actually, that's a really good deal. That's like a third of what you need for the year. And Gary, you're a very good speaker. You're a very engaging speaker. So I know that people always, of course, you're very welcome. I know that people always enjoy getting to hear like your take and your spin on, like the important things in our industry. So that's exciting. That'll be awesome.
And then finally, we got launch week 9. We got launch week 9 coming up mid-March, March 18th to the 21st. We have 4 days, UCC Day, EdTech Day, Digital Science Day, Pro AV Day. And Steph, I would love for you to tell me about one of the sessions you're most excited about for launch week.
Yeah, so UCC Day, that one is on March 18th. That's the very first day of launch week. We have a big panel each day, and we also have a smaller industry update panel each day. The big panel on this day is going to be all about live streaming in a corporate world. We're going to talk about how this landscape has really emerged, how streaming is more than for just, the gamers now. It's for everybody. We all need to live stream. So it's become a really important tool for AV professionals to be able to use. So I'm going to be talking to this panel of experts about how these operational strategies can empower organizations to, transcend geographic boundaries and, really, really help us go to the next level. So definitely come, definitely join. It is 2.5, I think, CTSRUs per day, equaling 10 for the entire week. Yeah. So,
all right, listen, I never endorse political candidates, but as you know, we have a contentious presidential election coming up. So I want you to know who I'm going to vote for. I'll be voting for the Kenobi Skywalker party.
Yeah.
The candidates of Ben
Finally.
Kenobi and Luke Skywalker are running for president, and that's who I'm voting for. So
finally, some good options. I feel that.
There you go.
Well,
right,
thank you everyone for joining us.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary.